Hello. Thank you for joining me today to learn a little bit about Dell EMC's Powermax storage platform. Powermax is based on our flagship Symmetrix product line and is a best-in-class enterprise architecture that's now available to our customers in mid-range pricing. What I want to spend the next 5 minutes today is showcasing to you that enterprise architecture doesn't mean that you need a team of experts to be able to manage and deploy resources. It's actually made for the IT generalist. So what you see here is this is the management interface. It's called Unisphere. It's available through any HTML5 platform. And when you log in, you quickly see a simple dashboard of all the systems under management. What you see here is we also are looking at previous generation VMAX systems as well. And you get a quick dashboard that shows you the overall health and some key performance indicators from each of your system. The health score is a function of latest code revisions, usable capacity, performance metrics, and gives you a quick indication of if there's anything inside of your environment that needs attention. Let's hop into one of the new Powermax systems and walk through some of the common things that a customer would traditionally do. So over here on the left, you'll see capacity. And what's interesting here is you can see how much capacity we've subscribed out to our applications, how much is actually used on the array. You see the savings that we get available through thin provisioning and oversubscribing our capacity. And then you also see an overall efficiency, which is a function of things like compression, deduplication, and efficiency driven from snapshots. So you'll see this customer is getting 3.2 to 1 efficiency from this particular storage device. Now that being said, what's really important about having an enterprise architecture, or it's really different, is the fact that you get this feature functionality without compromise. So when you look over to performance metrics on the right, like I/O and latency and throughput, part of having a resilient multi-controller scale-out architecture is the fact that you can use these services, you can use additional things like data protection as well, and you won't have to sacrifice performance or availability for your applications in doing so. So to round out this page, we talked a little bit about the charts over here. You can see these based on 4 hours, 1 day, or weeks. You can export them if you want to have historical views that you save. You can also see trending around capacity too, to start to recognize if you did get close to hitting a threshold. Was there an event or a point in time when you consume more? So let's actually talk about some of the common things that our customers would have to do with the storage array. The first would be is let's create storage and make it available for an application. So here you can see all the volumes that are available, and let's start by creating a new one. So real simple, I'm going to create a storage group. I'm going to call it VM capacity for a virtual environment. I can choose a resource pool, so this is nothing more than a group of back-end resources, right, that may have different performance characteristics based on the media that are involved. And then I can create a service level. Now traditionally in an all-flash architecture, the service level is generally default to Diamond. But what we're finding is that very soon in the roadmap, right, we'll have NVMe-based enabled next-gen flash technology that will have an order of magnitude 10 or 15x performance, specifically with things like storage class memory. So tiering capabilities to be able to optimize certain pieces of information that are being accessed frequently, right, to be able to use those new versions of media that are going to have a cost associated with them will be key to really unlocking the value and the right cost. So that's what these service levels will really come in to help our customers be able to take advantage of those newer technologies. That being said, I'm going to create a volume. I'm going to leave it a Diamond, and I'm going to pay a 20 gigabyte volume. And as I walk through this easy wizard, I can choose the servers that I want to have access. So I'm going to choose my ESX storage group. You can see it's already defaulted to have 2 different ports for high availability. Certain workloads certainly could have more ports, but I'm going to leave the default there. And then I see a quick summary. The one thing I will point out here is you do have the ability to set limits if you want to limit a particular workload that's less critical in the environment from using and consuming resources. But just like that, I quickly provisioned a 20 gigabyte volume to a VMware environment. Let's talk a little bit more about data protection. Right? So let's say I had a storage group on the array, and I wanted to create a local protection strategy using snapshots. Well, simply put, I can click Create. I'll choose that same VMware server or work group. I'll call it VM Snap. And now I can set simple things like how long do I want these to stay. So let's say I want to keep them around for a week, for 7 days, and I can even come in and set a schedule. So let's start this on a certain date. Let's start at 8 in the morning. I can even set a reoccurrence that says, let's go ahead and every 4 hours, let's kick off a snapshot. Now that could be for backup, that could be for test and development. But just that simply, I created a snapshot for that particular storage group, that's going to live for 7 days and happen every 4 hours. Just like that, I hit add to job list and the process kicks off and starts. Now what about remote replication? What if I want to expand my protection capabilities outside of the data center? Well, I can come into SRDF groups, and let's talk a little bit about just how easy it is to do this. So by clicking on creating an SRDF group, what I'm going to do here is I'll walk through my communication protocol. So depending upon where the secondary array was, I may communicate over fiber channel or Ethernet. I can make that decision here. And what you'll see here, these are the remote arrays that I have in my environment. If I did install a new one that I hadn't located yet, I could click the scan button and go out and locate that. And let's just call this VM SRDF. And I'll walk through a quick process which will determine what are the ports on the actual array that I have in my production environment that I want to send communication over. I want to click configure the port on the remote array as well. And then I quickly have a summary here that shows me exactly what I'm going to do. I have the capability to turn on software or hardware compression if I want to have savings over a wide area network where I have limited capacity to send data. And simply put, I add it to the job list. Now I've set up remote replication between Data Center 1 and Data Center 2 that can help easily facilitate disaster recovery events in my environment. So there you have it. I'll give you a quick summary. Simple, easy to use, best-in-class enterprise architecture, made to be managed and deployed and used by the IT generalist, and most importantly, gives you the feature functionality without any of the compromise. Thank you, and I look forward to talking about Powermax with you again at a future time.